We knew going into this, we needed to change the academic culture, student culture at the institution. We had to address that because graduation rates, four-year graduation rates were right about 15%. We knew we had to change the culture, so I charged a Traditions 2000, this was in 2000, Traditions 2000 task force to look at cultural traditions nationally about how to change culture. In fact, we developed a freshman convocation to create expectations, to communicate standards, and what it meant to be a part of this learning community. We actually looked at a number of honor codes, codes of conduct throughout the entire country, found University of South Carolina's Carolinian Creed, adopted that and modified it and created the ASC affirmations, establishing expectations, standards of conduct, academic integrity, and that became a tradition. We created first-year interest groups, which is equivalent to the learning communities that were talked about earlier, created clustering 3 classes together, often linked with a first-year seminar, but we had secondary instruction or teaching, health sciences, theater. We had a series of learning communities, and in every case, higher retention rate, higher student satisfaction, and higher graduation rates. We had so many lines all over campus, we created a one-stop shop of services for registration, for payment, and for financial aid, which got rid of the runaround. We identified, and I would encourage every institution to do this if you haven't done this, identify the top 10 courses that you receive W's or withdraws, incompletes, F's, and D's. Hopefully you're already doing that. We created supplemental instruction for the highest risk courses, academic courses for students. We developed an inclusive advising model where every single freshman was contacted in the first 6 weeks of classes in an early contact phone call. In addition to that, had an early alert program so that we weren't waiting till midterms to find out whether or not a student wasn't doing well. And then we developed a whole series within the Division of Student Affairs of mantras, of messages we wanted to share with our staff and with our students. And some of the mantras went like this. In the Division of Student Affairs, we had a mantra that said that we believe that every interaction with the student, or that every interaction with the student is a divisional moment of truth. And that we believe that in every interaction, there is in fact a life in the balance. And we began to change a staff culture in belief that students are our number one priority. In fact, we had these little platelets, desk platelets that said students are purpose, priority, mission. And so culturally, we started to change it as an institution. And so the outcomes of this 5-year transformation that resulted out of Title V was that we're recognized as one of 11 Hispanic-serving institutions in the country that had dramatically enhanced graduation rates within those years. We went from 15% 4-year graduation rates to 55% in 5 years. And bottom line, Title V really was the catalyst. Title V helped us to change not just focused services for Latino students, it helped transform an institution. And again, that's probably the main message or messages I want to share with this group here, because you all at GSU and I think your partner institution are getting ready to conclude a grant. When you consider the changes that this state is undergoing, it really presents your institutions of higher education an opportunity to leverage Title V and help advance your institutions. And I hope you'll consider to applying for another grant. And in many ways, these grants are really bridges for not just equal access and equal opportunity, but they're really bridges for equal educational attainment for all of our students. It makes me think of a scholar, Gloria Ansaldúa, wrote, she said, "Con este puente hemos comenzado a salir de las sombras." She said, with this bridge, we've begun to come out of the shadows. And in so many ways, Title V grants really are a bridge to educational access and to success. And I want to thank Governor State University and Morton College for being that bridge for so many of our students and our future students and in supporting their success. And so thank you again, Carlos, for inviting me, and thank you for letting me be a part of this symposium.